Hello, this is Celeste of Astrology by Celeste, here for the Astro and the Oracle program, which is a little delayed as Mercury slows down to station retrograde. Yes, you will notice more and more delays in our lives as we have this beautiful invitation to go within. It starts officially on Sunday, but we're starting to feel the energy. Hello, Brenda Spins and Arthur and Ridiculisa and Dee and everyone. So what I'm going to do today is talk a little bit about the astrology. Then I'm going to pull oracle cards to help us navigate this full moon and the rest of the week. And I'm going to use the Shaman's Dream Oracle. This is the perfect deck for Scorpio season with the sun in Scorpio and the moon in Taurus. And it is by Colette, Baron-Reid and Alberto Villoldo. And it's illustrated by Jenna, DellaGrottaglia. This is an amazing deck that was created during COVID and released during COVID times. And I absolutely love it. The artwork is beautiful. The cards are incredible. The messages really get to the heart of things. I'll put a link in the caption if you want to get the deck for yourself, as well as I'll post a picture of it afterwards. So I got notes already here so I can stay on track and not get into too many tangents. But first up, every year, Tiffany Harlick, Sarah El-Hilrar, who is Astro Auntie, and myself do a coming year predictions panel where we talk about the transits, planets changing signs, retrogrades, eclipses. That's happening on the 11th. So you can go to the link in my bio or to my website, astrologybyceleste.com, and register for it. If you can't make it live, you'll get the recording. It is beloved by our communities and will help you plan for next year. You can listen to the Celestial Insights podcast. This week's title was Dead Man Switch. And I talked about how with transportation accidents, after like some big train thing in New York City, I believe it was New York City, this method was put in place to stop trains in case of an accident. I mean, this was Mars opposite Uranus. Mars and Sagittarius opposite Uranus really brought in the themes of like unexpected accidents. And we had that plane crash yesterday in Kentucky, a UPS plane that carries the logistics. It's really tied in with logistics. And it's a tragedy where people were killed, but it also is, and which is horrible, and it also will have a ripple effect throughout the transportation, logistical thing, because it's like it's an important hub, and it's really important. Besides, the human tragedy about this crash. And I talked about lines of succession with a leader going away and, the line of succession. Well, I was thinking about the United States. I was thinking about J.D. Vance, I'll just be honest. But Dick Cheney died yesterday, and he was a vice president. And it really brought themes. It's so synchronicity that as Dick Cheney died, this old guard about going into people's countries, taking all their resources, that Zohran Mamdani is now mayor of New York City, who's talking about sharing our wealth, sharing our assets, moving from this greed is good to a time of Pluto and Aquarius, where we come together as communities and do what we can to make sure everyone has a seat at the table. And there is so much this cruelty that this administration is doing, trying not to give people SNAP benefits, all these furloughed workers. Apparently they got some email saying sign this and that you may not get your back pay after, and people working through this shutdown. They're really trying to, and this is what we need in Pluto Aquarius, see the greed in its full form so that we can come together and realize that this is not the way to go, that things have gotten so out of control where the rich just want everything and want everybody else to be a serf, and it's not going to work anymore. Yes, yes. And it's a real dichotomy that these two things happened on the same day. Yes. And a dead man's switch exists to prevent disaster. Trains, planes, nuclear equipment, if the operator becomes incapacitated. This week we're looking at what systems fail when no one is awake at the wheel. And we're looking at like this collective collapse of things. Who inherits power when someone is removed? Lines of succession and accountability. This is the themes of this week, and we'll see some more stuff coming up related to these themes. Yeah, and the UPS plane crash, to me, really brought back the themes of 9/11, not just a plane crashing into a building, but apparently I saw someone talking on Threads about how they were notified by their company. Okay, so this plane crashed into like some buildings, and so this is a wreckage site, and people have lost coworkers, loved ones, and it's psychologically a tragedy, shocking to see. And some people were told to go to work today, even though there's all this smoke, toxins in the air, and all this kind of stuff. And after the first plane hit 9/11 and people were evacuating the buildings, there were companies that told people to go back to your desk. And some people did and wound up dying unnecessarily. And this, to me, brought in this under this full moon in Taurus on the axis of power, resources, and pleasure too. This greed as well, that expecting people to go to work after this huge tragedy, breathe in toxic air, see this destruction. It's like we are being pushed to the brink so that we say, no more, we're not going to put up with this. So I thought that was really, we are being confronted when the cost of systems that prioritize profit over people. That is part of this Taurus full moon, what's coming to our conscious attention. But I'm seeing so many beautiful things about people helping their neighbors. There are people who have set up, apparently this is a TikTok trend, who have set up in certain areas of the country these food pantries to help their neighbors. And this man was on a video I saw, and he was so emotional because his family had created a food pantry and someone left them like $1,000 to help keep it stocked for the neighborhood. I know I've been donating to multiple charities that feed people in Oakland to help, and shared some information with my neighbors. It is beautiful to see people coming together collectively. I saw a woman in the airport giving some money to TSA people to help them because they're working, not being paid. So we're seeing the best and worst of humanity at this full moon. Yes, power to the people. Pluto in Aquarius. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, we're witnessing the fall of one worldview and the rise of another. It's going to take time, but safety is collective, nourishment is shared, and we find freedom together. These are some of the themes I want you to think about at this at this Taurus full moon. Yeah, we'll see if what's happening on Friday. There's big shifts this week. So let's just witness it. And let's move to the cards. So the Shaman's Dream Oracle is the deck I'm going to be using. Oh, I wanted to say a few words before we get into that about Mars is in Sagittarius, and really notice how, and so is Mercury, and really notice how people are becoming more philosophical. They're thinking about, thinking about what are our belief systems, more optimistic, more generous are some of the things that can be coming up with this energy. And Mars, and the first thing Mars did was oppose Uranus. Notice that collective excitement and hope rising with the election results where Democrats made a lot of gains fighting off this let's take everything from the people and give it to the wealthy MAGA movement kind of thing. And they are, well, that's not the MAGA movement, that's the administration. And then Mars sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So there's this real drive to bring together community and take action. Yeah. And some people are going to be boycotting Black Friday, spending money in corporations, really working to spend money with smaller businesses this holiday season, or save. Yeah. So those are some of the themes. But as Mercury slows to retrograde, it's just a great time to slow down, think carefully about things before we do them. But I think a lot of this is going to be about watching what Sagittarius can be foot and mouth energy. So November 9th through 29th is the retrograde. So just be mindful, especially like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, about what you're saying out loud, because retrogrades can be like, you can just say things out loud that you were meant to keep in your head. Okay. Let me pick the cards. First up is Aries. What do you need to know about this full moon where the sun is in Scorpio, shining a light on power dynamics, things we'd rather maybe not face about ourselves. The moon is in Taurus, a sign that rules comfort, security. It's practical and grounded, resources. But underneath it all, there's this Mars opposite Uranus, like pushing us to make some change. Let's see. Aries. You got the Drifter card. Experiencing life as it comes. This is a big thing. This is hard for Aries sometimes because it's cardinal initiating energy where you want to take steps, make things happen. Do what you, yeah. Let me read it. It can be hard to just experience things as it comes with being an Aries. Think about what lights you up. Seeking the essence but not knowing the form. The Drifter invites you to step out of your to-do list and your ordinary routine to feel the breeze against your skin. That's very Taurian, feeling the breeze against your skin, because that's touch. That's the five senses. With Taurus, energy slows down, invites us to experience these things. Calling you to follow the wind and explore life's opportunities. It's time to cut the mooring lines holding you to the dock and just experience. I love that. That could be like with Mercury and Mars and Sagittarius, just going for a walk with no destination, taking a different way home. What can you do to add some of that energy of experiencing life as it comes? Follow your nose like my little dog Debo. That is what drives him on his walks. Okay. Taurus. Many masks. Taurus, this is a call to get to your authentic self. How can you take some of your masks on? Why do you put them on? Who do you put them on for? This is a really wonderful opportunity to do some exploration of that theme with the full moon in your sign. And this is whether you are a Taurus sun, moon, or rising. I should have said that. Yeah, it's getting to energizing your internal allies. Masks are not inherently bad, rather than they provide context and structure for our personalities and soul's expression. Some of us might believe that a particular mask fixed and hardened onto us is our permanent face. Taurus is a fixed sign, so is Scorpio. We forget that we are living beings with a multitude of faces, enabling us to experience a fuller, more vibrant world. Your authentic self doesn't want you to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Now it's time to strip that away and discover who you really are underneath. And Pluto in Aquarius is squaring all the Taurus placements. So it's only at like 1 degree still, but eventually it's going to be over the next like 20 years, get to square your Taurus placements. And what Pluto does is it strips things down to the studs. And with the squares are internal tension. So you're feeling maybe this internal tension, whether you have a sun, moon, or rising, especially if it's early degrees, to be more of who you are, rather than who society wants you to be, Taurus. Yeah, it's really interesting. One of the things I was just reading is a young men got out and voted as well. It wasn't, to realizing the chaos of what this current leadership is doing. It's like change is here. People are really seeing things for what they are. Okay. Covenant sacred contract is Gemini's card. This is so interesting. Covenant sacred contract, especially because Mercury and Mars are in Sagittarius, opposite your Gemini placements. So you're really going to be getting some insights. Oppositions come in through other people during these transits, and Mercury and Mars are going to meet next week at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. So if you have anything around that point, there's going to be a big something coming to your conscious attention next week. Yeah. So this is about commitments. You are being invited to enter a sacred contract. This covenant card may also be a call for you to recognize that an ancient agreement you made with Spirit needs to be renewed. And a covenant must be founded on truth. Not your truth, his truth, or her truth, but a greater truth. So there could be something about honesty, dishonesty, keeping your promises that comes up, that really brings to your conscious attention and causes you to think internally with Mercury retrograde about these things, because your word is your word, your bond. And if somebody in your life's word is not their bond, and you find out somebody's been fibbing to you, there may be a big thing that comes up for you this week. What is going on with my thing? Can someone put a comment? Can you still see me here? There's something weird going on with my phone. I see the time in my face. I hope this is not recording the time. Okay. For Cancer, it's Dust Devil. Moving out of... Okay, good, Beth. Hi, Beth. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Wendy. Oh, good. Moving out of stagnation, dust devil. Sometimes you just need to whip things up a little bit. What's going on with Cancer? Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer. So you may be finding that you're feeling more emotional, protective, generous. These are the things Jupiter and Cancer may be bringing. But this is about embracing the chaos, trusting the process. Some people are afraid of this chaotic nature of the dust devil. The truth is you can't expect this dream ally to behave, to bring niceness, to be clean. His power is the mess he creates and calls for you to engage in the full cyclone of life. He represents two aspects to you now. The winds in your outer life appearing to throw you off course, where you presume that the world is coming at you, happening to you, and that the winds of change are churning inside you. It's arising to help you escape chains that bind you. So what's happening in the sky is Jupiter is slowing down to retrograde at 25 degrees Cancer, and Saturn is in Pisces slowing down to go direct at 25 degrees. They're both going to be at 25 degrees of Pisces. So Jupiter, the benefic that expands things, and Saturn, the malefic that contracts things. And we need both of them. We need things that add to life and that take away, are in a trine. So you can have like this feelings of chaos with the Saturn, but feelings that there's this opportunity to shed old ways of being and find growth with Jupiter. So really, yeah, think about that. How like there's things stirred up that you can move through and it can feel difficult, but once you it offers you an opportunity for success. Hey, Veronica. I feel like that's that. Yeah, and people feeling motivated to make movement, especially if you've been feeling really stagnant for a while. I think this can be a really helpful thing. Okay. For Leo, Sky Dancers, the Surrender card. The Surrender card for Leo. This is so interesting for Leo. This full moon, and it's at 14 Taurus. So the sun is at 14 Scorpio. The moon is at 14 Taurus. This is the axis of pleasure, power, and resources at this is this full moon. And Leo squares both of these signs. So there's this internal tension, Leo, you're feeling, especially if you have anything right around 14 about you may be feeling some identity where it's a great time to just take a step back and really think about what do you value, Taurus? What would you rather not admit to yourself about things in terms of the sun being in Scorpio? Yeah, this could be a really powerful full moon to evaluate and do some internal work. And it's liberation from attachment. Are you too attached to possessions or luxury items? Sometimes that can be a thing with Leo energy, like you like the bag with the name on it, or the shoes and all of that kind of stuff. And can you surrender some of that? Yeah, this is, the Sky Dancers is heralding the arrival of a new relationship with yourself in your work or in your love life. The only way for liberation is to kiss the ground and take flight. So think about how can you liberate yourself from some attachment. And She is inviting you to welcome the deepest power of the feminine into your life. You've already overanalyzed your situation to exhaustion. Now it's time to invite the sacred feminine, the wisdom within you, to guide you to success. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Yeah. This to me really speaks to the Sky Dancers is like the Hangman card, the surrender. Understand what you can control, what you can't control, and the difference between the two of them. Hey, Leslie and Emily and Chrysula, I see you there. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Ooh, Virgo, Unmarked Trail Revelation. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Unmarked Trail Revelation. So whether you're a Virgo sun, moon, or rising, like there's being this stuff scooped up and bringing it to your conscious attention. You may also feel like you're letting go of a lot and you're ready to take a different path. And what is the path? It may just be internal. Like for me, I have Virgo in my 3rd house, and that's the house of the mind. And I have Pluto in Virgo in my South Node. So this time has really amplified to me how I think and communicate with the South Node. Has been in Virgo since January, and it'll be there until next July, I believe, June or July. This 18-month period where I'm learning more and more and more about how I think and communicate, really working to try to let go of anxiety and fears, recognizing the South Node. It comes to my conscious attention, recognizing. And just last night at this full moon, I had this big conversation with myself about taking another unmarked trail, that I am going to hold hope that the future is going to be much brighter after we get through this hard time, that this is all for a reason, trusting the process, that this hardship we're seeing with people losing their jobs and all of this kind of stuff, this wealth hoarding, this corruption is being all brought to our conscious attention so that we as a collective can make better choices. No, we're not going to let these maniacs, these men at the, leading these countries just doing their penis measuring contests about who's the biggest and the baddest, threatening to start testing nuclear weapons again, and all this kind of craziness. No, we're coming together, we're getting community, we're helping each other, and we're going to have a brighter future. That is the unmarked trail. That is the revelation that I am holding on to hope. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I think we're going to, after a hard time, see a better future. That's what I'm holding on to. Yes. And the elections yesterday really were a bright spot. Really a bright spot. Seeing people so excited about now the people who won, like Mondani. He's got to put up what he said he was going to do, but he's an Aquarius moon, so I believe that he is going to do what he can to make the society of New York City better for working people. Yes, I do. I believe it because he's a sun in Libra. He's very focused. Sun in Libra, moon in Aquarius, and he doesn't have any Gemini, but that's all right. Gemini is his 11th house of the 11th house of society, groups, organizations, where he wants to make change. And there's certain people who are going to fight him every step of the way. But especially like rich people really tried to keep him from winning. But the people want different, and they're trying it. They're trying something different. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. Hey, Martha Bowles. Yes, I love that. You're a Virgo rising, Martha. What's your new trail? What's your revelation? This is great. For Libra, closing door completion. So Libra, Venus has been in your sign, your chart ruler, What have you decided that you're ready to move away from Libra during this transit? Venus is going to move from her home where she's comfortable and can do what she does in Libra into the sign of Scorpio, I believe on Friday. Friday's a big day. Yeah. Is it Friday or is it Thursday? Let's see. Okay, Venus moves into Scorpio tomorrow afternoon, and then she's going to square Pluto on Friday. So there's going to be something coming to your conscious attention, both Libra and Taurus is, that you may decide that there's a need to close the door on something, on some way of being, whether it is too much focus on the other, people pleasing, all those things. Yeah, it's time to recognize an ending. What relationship, job, task, or situation has been dragging on far too long. Unlock the cage you've been trapped in, shut the door behind you, and this is not a time to worry about what others may think or feel. Instead, break with your routine, consider what you think and how you feel, and be true to your heart's calling. So think about that. Oh, wonderful, Martha. Martha says, as a Virgo rising, releasing things that don't serve, Martha, it's painful and powerful, and she's going to trust the process. Martha loves a good process as a Virgo rising. Absolutely. I love that. I love that. Yeah. Ooh, Scorpio. This is perfect. The sun is in Scorpio. The moon is in Taurus. Fool's embrace. Transmuting pain is your card. Let me read that. Let's see. Allowing life to love you. The experience of both and. The pain of life is sometimes unbearable. Think about, all these people, and it may be you yourself who's worked for the government, not getting paid, lost a job. Companies are laying off people left and right as AI starts taking over jobs, and or if people on SNAP need food assistance. Yeah. When we're in it, we think that pain, that loss, that betrayal will always be woven through our continuity of existence. We're kept hostage by the way we identify with pain and what we make it mean. If we let it, it becomes etched into us like a tattoo. No matter where you are on the spectrum of pain you find yourself now, whether it be mild disappointment or searing loss, it's time to make peace with it, befriend it, rather than resist it, running from it, or judging it as bad or unfair or hostile. Can you see the gift here? Surrendering to the fool's embrace, allowing the truth to envelop you in love and compassion. What if you could learn something amazing from this? What is truly yours will never pass you by. Something better and perfect for you is waiting elsewhere. Remember, the pearl can't be created without the gritty sand causing discomfort and acting like a catalyst in the oyster. Yes. So just really, oh, it's 11:11. Oh, it was. Yes. Yeah. So feel that. Yeah. It's just a Scorpio honoring the pain, and you might need to just tell somebody, I just need a hug today, is what I get from that. And themes about your self-worth could really be coming up, Scorpio. Yeah. Ooh, Sagittarius. This is so interesting. So Aries and Libra, drifter, experiencing life as it comes for Aries. Libra was closing door completions. And then Taurus, many masks, the authentic self versus Scorpio, transmuting pain. That's just such shadow work in Scorpio season. And then sacred contract for Gemini and spiritual narcolepsy for Sagittarius. Very interesting. Like renewing your contract with yourself and with others. Say what you mean what you say, kind of information for Gemini. Keep your commitments. And for Scorpio, you're being cautioned not to fall asleep or get unconscious. You've been flying above the strife and suffering of the world, but for Sagittarius, you may feel like you need to take action. Okay. It's just a reminder not to lose track of your aspirations. You may feel like a little pep in your step, Sagittarius, like feeling like you need to get going, feeling like you need to get back into your spiritual practices if you haven't been doing whatever it is, meditation, prayer, whatever it is. You may feel an internal wake-up call within you, especially with Mercury going retrograde in your sign. Yeah. And don't let anyone use you for their pleasure. And have only their interests in mind. Don't tell my boo is a Sagittarius. He's not going to be complaining about me using him for my pleasure. I can tell you that. Okay. This is an invitation to study the forest above the trees. Analyze your situation from a higher perspective. Yeah, it's just about not falling asleep. Not falling asleep, not just like ignoring all of the strife in the world. Sometimes we have to just recognize it and take some actions to make things better. Falling angel. That's really interesting. Sagittarius. Okay. Capricorn, limitless possibilities, stars in the sky. Well, that is pretty clear, Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn, what are you doing? Can you see with Jupiter squaring your Jupiter's opposite. Jupiter in Cancer is opposite any of your Capricorn placements. So that opposition, from outside of you, you may be getting a benefactor or someone sharing ideas with you or seeing something outside of yourself that emotionally connects with you to help you feel like, growth beyond what you thought was possible is available for you. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Limitless possibilities. The only limits on ourselves are the ones we put on ourselves, is what this is saying for you, Capricorn. And Cancer was Dust Devil. When you move out of stagnation and get going, can you believe that you can achieve things no matter what logic tells you? That Jupiter and Cancer can emotionally connect you to making changes and feeling, hey, Estelle, so good to see you. Yes. Yeah. Hi, Beth. So good to see you. Yeah, spicy. Yeah, things are spicy. Yes. Okay, Aquarius, you got lost in space, needing direction. And Leo was surrender, sky dancer. Now, if you're lost in space and needing direction, sometimes just taking some time to surrender, to do a meditation can help you get back on track. Let me read this. This can be, it's about a 24-hour day. So this can be trying not to worry too much in the future and just think about what we can do today. Sometimes in life we lose our way, perhaps falling prey to addictive behaviors, jealousy, comparison, resistance, or fear. And Aquarius squares both Taurus and Scorpio. So this makes a lot of sense. This can be like if you're feeling Aquarius, feeling like feelings of being an outsider, a little bit of some situation happened. There can be just these feelings. This happens especially when we're up-leveling or genuinely changing for the better. A part of us hiding in the vast expansiveness of space wants to sabotage our process. In the transformation process, our inner world no longer feels safe or inhabitable, and we feel that our thoughts and beliefs have morphed beyond recognition. You may find yourself adrift right now, unable to focus or determine the next steps, or maybe you simply need to regroup and rest. When you lack direction, the first thing to do is redirect your perspective of time. Just think about the 24-hour day. I can get through this for the next 24 hours. There was someone online talking about how, this was on Threads, they'd quit drinking and they just needed support because they were having difficulty getting through and they were in some kind of program. And it's like, yes, just think about the 24-hour day. If that's what you were doing, you need to surrender the serenity prayer. Understand what I can control, what I can't control, and the difference. And there were so many people in the comments. And I was saying, this is an amazing time to quit because, especially if you can get just 5 days after Thanksgiving, because with the Jupiter and Saturn in trine, like Jupiter rules excess, Saturn discipline, and Saturn stationing direct on Thanksgiving Day. And if you can just keep that discipline to limit indulgence, I think people can really stick to whatever you're giving up, video games, doom scrolling, a substance. You can really quit intoxicants with Saturn and Pisces. This is a great time to be doing it. So yeah, it was beautiful seeing people supporting this person to try to make their life better after being lost in space through an addiction. Yeah. Okay, and Pisces, straddling worlds, wandering between realms. This is so perfect. With Virgo was Unmarked Trail. So you want to bring in a different way of life. Pisces, the north node's in this sign. There's growth available for you. And you're just wandering between the realms. Yes, yes, yes. And understanding you're in a transition. You know, you're going somewhere, but you're not exactly sure where. We're in the year of the 9, where all these endings are happening. Next year is a year of the 1, where new stuff is being seeded, and we're kind of all collectively we're wandering between realms, and we don't know exactly where we're going. It's scary, but it's also exciting. Yeah, that card does feel very. Yes, Piscean. Yeah, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think that, thank you, Martha. That is the serenity prayer, and it's really something to be thinking about right now. And, what can I change? We can make little changes in our local areas, coming together for community, doing what we can to help those that are in really dire situations because of forces outside of their control, whether it's saying a prayer from someone, spending some time volunteering for an organization, donating money, whatever, putting out, making your own food pantry to help people. There's so many beautiful things happening. Yes. Taurus Sun. Yes. That was many masks was the card, Sarah. Okay. Well, I hope this is helpful. I'll be back a little later today. I'm talking to Tiffany about the astrology calendar that she creates every year. And we're talking a little bit about 2026. But sign up for our predictions panel if you're so interested. It'll be held on Zoom on Tuesday. It's interactive. You can join if you like. And Sarah, Tiffany, and I will be discussing the transits of 2026 so you can think about how you want to use this new energy coming in to make your next step on your journey, make your mark. Okay, take good care. Thanks for joining.